Welcome to Mary's Eclectic Interests. Today I'll be working with some cigar boxes, and I already have one done for you to see, and this is the one that I've done. Now normally when I was reading everything, you could decoupage, you could stain, you could paint, you could do all kinds of things. Well, it's winter here and I don't want to do that in my house, and I liked the actual wood and I prefer to keep it more simple, and I wanted this specifically to put cards in that I've made in prior shows, and they will slip under a certain piece of furniture so that I don't have to stack them anywhere. They'll just be right underneath and I can pull them out whenever I want. So what I made this with is, this is handmade paper, and this is a cutout that I purchased in the store. You cut it out and then you use two-sided interfacing to iron this on. So this is where I got my handmade paper. This was a scrapbook in the middle of an elephant display, which I'm going to use on another box, so you'll see that. But all I wanted here was all this homemade paper, and when I saw it in the store, I purchased it specifically because it was this beautiful handmade paper. It has the little divider in here, and look at all this great paper I got for a few dollars that I can use on projects. Now the first thing I'm going to show you is, I didn't do anything. This is the way this box came. I purchased both of these for 25 cents at I believe it was a church garage sale. Yes, I go to a lot of those, and thrift stores. So I thought, since I'm putting this paper on top, I really don't have to do anything. All I need to do is put it on there. I don't have to do any scraping or anything else. Now this is the front, and what I'm going to do, first thing I have to do, is adhere this onto the homemade paper. And the thing I have to do, or make sure of, and I'm going to bring the leaves down like this. So I'm trying to center it, and you can't really do this with the straight pins in here, because the straight pins have this little plastic on the top and the iron will melt it. So I'm going to take off some of these straight pins, and I'm going to put the iron on this section, one section at a time, and until it adheres a little bit. See, it's already staying on. That means I don't have to paste it. Now this, here it is. I'll take these needles out. And I'm just going to lay the iron on top. Now a lot of times I will put another piece of material on top of this, and I think I put it in the other room, so I'm not going to deal with that. Whoops. And you're really not supposed to move the iron around. You're supposed to just set it down. And what happened was one of the leaves went out of place. There we go. Can I pull it out? Yes. And can I pull out the other thing? Well, hopefully it's all going to pull out. Okay, and you just put it on top. Now this particular flower form wasn't as bad as the other one. You can see on the first one I made, I had to cut all of this out in here. I had to cut all between these leaves, everything else. So that was a little bit more complicated as far as getting it prepped. The most of my time is spent prepping. Now this is done and it's on. And what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to get rid of my little ironing board, and I'm going to turn this off. want to make sure that this is, yeah, it's down pretty darn good. And I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to set it over here on my little pad that I have for that, and then I can get rid of this. And as I mentioned, I want both of these for putting cards in that I've made, and I want them to be distinctive so that I can tell which one I'm grabbing. Now I have a little pair of pinking shears. You get these little Fiskars ones that come in all different variations where you can do different types of cutting. Anything from this to like a heartbeat, all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to give it a little ragged cut. Nothing real exciting. And it doesn't have to be perfectly squared. And as I mentioned, I already cut all of this earlier. And the other things that you'll need for this particular craft, as you can see, I have my trusty dusty metal ruler, a pencil, and a utility knife or X-Acto knife, whichever you happen to have. And when I was doing this, I thought, oh, I will put the glue on the paper. And then I thought, no, we're not doing that because the paper is very porous and it would take a lot of glue and it would just soak in. So it was better to put it on the box and then put the embellishment on top of there. Now this is all stuff that I've acquired over the years. And these are things that I've been wanting to do. And since I have all this time over the holidays, I thought I could do a whole bunch of shows. Yeah, this will work. And this did not get, it got a little off. But like I said, it's not going to be even, and it's not meant to be even. Okay. And I have this little tub of, this is not archival. I didn't plan on this to be archival. This is just your regular old craft glue. And it's specifically for crafts and doing this type of thing. And it's basically Elmer's glue, but the one that's for crafts, not the wash. Do not use the one that you can wash, where it says washable. I don't like that. I accidentally bought that. It doesn't work for a lot of things. So I'm just putting on the glue. And I didn't sit here and I didn't do any kind of sanding. My whole object and the boxes that I'll be making is specifically the easiest way I could do it with the least amount of the smell of in the house, because I'm in the house. I didn't want to be smelling paint or stain or varnish or any of that stuff. If it was summertime, well, that's fine. I would have done it out in the garage. But not in here. So I went very, very basic and very simple. And this is so simple that kids can do this. Except for the ironing. A young kid, I wouldn't ever let them do that. But you could prep this all for a child, let them pick it all out, and then let them glue it all together. But I would make sure that they were age appropriate. Okay, here we go. And because it's glue, I can maneuver it around a little bit. There, look at how simple that was. Now I have 2 boxes, and like I said, one will be for some blank cards that I made, and the other one will be for, I made several different things. Now this didn't get on quite right, but to tell you the truth, it doesn't really matter. There. Okay. Now those 2 are done, and guess what I did? You see what I did? This is the hinges back here, and I really wanted the leaves to be coming down this way, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. The leaves, it's a flower. Leaves come all different directions on flower, so it's not anything I'm going to be upset over. If I wouldn't have pointed it out, you wouldn't have noticed it. So I'm going to try and do as many simple ones as I can. I only have so much time here. I found this particular cigar box. It says Romeo and Juliet all over it. And I just really like the edging. And it keeps saying Romeo and Juliet pretty much everywhere. And in the front, it does have the cancer, Surgeon General warning. I'm not taking it off. It can stay there. Maybe later on I'll try and get it off, but right now it could be there. And what I might do is take a Sharpie or something, and I wonder if that would work. I bet a Sharpie would work. And just obliterate it. I had to do some gluing. This was up, so I glued this down here. And of course, there's some damage on the inside, but nobody's really going to see that unless they lift the lid up. And I found, since it's Romeo and Juliet, I have all these great big birthday cards that I've had for years. I picked them up at a thrift place, and they are so large. I'll show you the actual width. Some of them are this big. And to send this, you're going to have to go down to the post office, and it's special postage. But they're beautiful, beautiful works of art. What I want to do, and I'm hoping I can do this, I never seem to be able to do this right, is get this, what do you want to call it? It's peel and stick laminating paper. And every time I do this, I do have a tendency to wreck whatever I'm doing. So bear with me as I try to do this right. And I'm debating on whether I want it to go over or just there. I'm thinking, no, we'll just do it right up to the edge. Well, I'm going to bring it in. I can always cut it if I bring it inward. And then that way, ready? Let's see if I can do it. Like I said, I'm not real good on this, and I did not make sure it was squared. I didn't do anything. I just slapped it in there. And this will protect the picture. And let's see if I can get my little utility knife and cut all around. And I'm going to cut it all the way across. And then that way, if I set something on here, it's not going to hurt it. Oops, I did not do that all the way through. I think I need a new blade. And I'll do that for the next. So this, again, is a cigar box. And this one, I have a completely different reason for wanting this. It's to also put in some small camera pieces that I have. Okay, now I have this, which will match up, but this is protected. So now all I have to do is glue it on. That's it. That's all I have to do. This is protected. It's laminated. It's not going to get dirty or anything. And all now on this one, I am going to do this. I'm going to take this out. I'm actually going to put the glue on. Let's get this over here. Get my pencil, and I don't need this anymore. So let's get this out of here. Here. I'm going to put the glue on the picture. Mainly because I don't have to worry about going out of the lines. And the reason I have the paper towel there is because I need to use this cutting area for other things. Cutting and gluing. So these are very, very simple solutions. And if they don't work, then I just try something else. This is not going to be that difficult to put something over. But I really did like the edging on that. I go, why should I do something else with it? I did have another idea, and I'll show it to you before I put this on there. As you can see, I'm a messy gluer. I had this beautiful box. It was pretty much damaged, and but I liked the pattern of it. Have you ever had a box where you just enjoy the pattern and the colors? And I might be using that to, let's see if I can get this all done. There. Mainly it's the edges that I have to get here. Okay, and I'll show it to you in a second here. So this is the only undamaged area of that box that I had. And I really liked it, and I thought about putting this on there, but it just didn't do anything for me. It was a little bit too abrasive, it just didn't blend in. And now I want to make sure this is going to open this way, but this picture is going to be going on sideways. And I am going to have to put some weights on this so that the picture will adhere to the box. So when I'm done with this, I'll take it over. And look at this, just in a few minutes how I changed that box. Isn't that nice? So what I was thinking is if I had a Sharpie, I could take the Surgeon General's, just make that black, but I'm not even going to do that. I'm thinking I might put something else on there. I'm not too concerned. I just think that this really adds to it. And when it's sitting, and like I said, I'm going to have to, I need to put some more glue on here. And I have to put some weights on this, or it's not going to, the edges aren't going to stay down. So I'm going to take this over, and I'm pushing it down as much as I can. And I notice, see the edges, the glue dried a little too fast. So I'm going to do this, push it back down, take that excess glue off. It's just going to be mean. And I'm going to have to take this, as I said, turn it upside down, and I'm going to put something heavy on top. Now here's another box that I had. And remember I said I had that, this was a scrapbook. And it did have a heavy duty, the cardboard finish. And this was right in the middle of it. And I just I just really liked that, but I knew I was never going to use it as a scrapbook. But I wanted to keep these the elephants. And I want it on this imported cigar box. Again, this one here, it's a wooden. All the ones that I've been doing, they're wooden. And again, I don't worry about the inside. I'm only going to worry about the outside. This time, I'm using a peel and stick vinyl to make this black, to blend in with the edging, the gold and the black edging. Now, the problem with this is I never can get this stuff lined up. As I said, I'm not very good at that. I'm hoping I can even get it started. There we go. And I should have started the hot glue gun. Now, let's see. I have to quit saying now. Now. Get over a little bit more. Ah! Nope. Thankfully, this is also vinyl. Oh, that's my two-way tape when that's okay, it could stay there. I want this to be over a little bit further. Okay. All right, now get this a little bit down. And that's what's hard, is lining these things up. Because I had the measurements and I discovered that this box, the little edging that's on there, isn't even. So that throws everything off when you're trying to do this. And that's exactly what happened. It's down. I can't get it back up. There we go. But it's not centered properly. That's the hardest part with this stuff, is getting it to go where you want it to go. Almost. There. And it's to get the little bubbles out. And this is going to have a bubble up here because there was a label. I'm going to see if I can get that out of here. I had some two-way tape up here. There. Let's see if I got it out when I was trying to. And I didn't think it was going to show through, but it is. And the other thing I have to do is get my glue gun down. Okay. My glue gun is always thrown someplace. And I'm going to take this off. And while the glue gun is warming up, there, I can clean up this mess. Now I'm thinking I should be using Gorilla Glue with this, but I don't have any. I have some in the other room, but I'm going to use the regular glue. But I'm just cautioning you that Gorilla Glue might be better for this particular project because of the weight of this. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is get this on. Let's see, is this getting hot enough? And you could see where the glue used to be here and here and here, and I scraped as much off as I could. It's not heating up yet. There we go. What I don't like about glue guns is the glue it gets cold so fast. Okay, try and line this up with that. There. Got all these little strings in here. Now I'm going to put my elephant in, and again you can see where all the glue used to be. I did not try and get that off. I'm just going to put it right over and hopefully it'll adhere. Make sure I have this in the front. Yep. Okay. Oops, I don't want that on my cutting thing. This goes in here like this. Pushing it down. What do you think? Pretty unique box, don't you think? And again, I just left all the wood tones and everything else because this frame has wood. Thank you for watching Mary's Eclectic Interests. Take care and stay safe.